私の才能は持って生まれたものなのよ。
What up, humans? Karumi here, and welcome to the Mobile Legends Re-Boot Camp. Re-boot camps are usually made when there is request from the higher-ups for a boot camp of a hero that has been already made. Re-boot camps will have the most up-to-date information. So, in this video, we are going to talk about the fighter mage hero, Guinevere. Guinevere has a good set of area of effect, crowd control, and burst skills. Our Miss Violet, Guinevere, is a fighter mage hero. I consider Guinevere as a good fighter mage for team fights, since her skills can deal massive crowd control and damage when executed correctly. Not only that, her second skill makes her fool enemies and aim their illusion instead of her. Now, let me share some tips and tricks on how to use Guinevere based on my experience. I will also teach you some combos and techniques on the latter part of this boot camp. But before that, let me explain her skills one by one for further understanding. Guinevere's passive, super magic boosts her damage output and lets her chase enemies effectively. When Guinevere hits an enemy that is knocked up, the damage dealt will be increased by a certain percentage. The bar below her health points is the bar for her accumulated super magic. She gains super magic for each damage dealt to enemies. When the bar is full, her next basic attack is enhanced, making that attack dash or chase towards the enemy. The damage dealt by the chase is based on a percentage of her physical and magic power. Not only that, it also recovers a percentage of her lost health points. Guinevere's first skill, Energy Wave, lets Guinevere send an energy orb towards a specified direction. The energy orb deals a certain amount of magic damage to the first enemy hit, and slowing the target hit by a certain percentage which will last for a few moments. When this skill hits an enemy, the cooldown of her skills are reduced by 1 second. Guinevere's second skill, Magic Thump, lets Guinevere thump to a designated area. Enemies within the area will be knocked up and will receive magic damage. After using the skill, she now gains a new skill, Spatial Migration. Spatial Migration lets Guinevere dash towards the designated direction, leaving a magical image behind and disappearing after a short period. The image left behind explodes and deals magic damage upon disappearing. Guinevere's ultimate skill, Violet Requiem, lets Guinevere release her magical power, dealing magic damage to nearby enemies within 2 seconds. If the enemies hit her on a knocked up state, they will have an additional knock-up effect. Each enemy's hit that are knocked up will be continued to be knocked up for 6 times. Take note that this skill is channeling, meaning, when you move or use a skill, your ultimate skill will stop. While casting this skill, Guinevere is immune to crowd control effects. There are so many items that you can buy for Guinevere. You can focus on items that grants magic power, magic penetration, and items that gives you additional health points and movement speed. For me, I choose to buy items that grants magic power, magic penetration, and movement speed to Guinevere. As for starting item, you can consider buying Rapid Boots. Rapid Boots grants a massive amount of movement speed to your hero. Its unique passive will decrease your movement speed by 40 points when you deal damage or when you take damage. This effect lasts for 5 seconds. You can consider buying Calamity Reaper. This grants you magic power, mana regen, and cooldown reduction. Its unique passive will buff your next basic attack after using a skill. Your next basic attack will deal extra true damage equivalent to a percentage of your magic attack. This unique passive has a short cooldown. Your movement speed is also boosted after being granted with the buff. You can consider buying Holy Crystal. This item grants a huge amount of magic power. Its unique passive increases your magic attack by a percentage. The percentage scales with your level. You might also want to consider Concentrated Energy. It provides additional health points, magic power, and magical life steal. Magical life steal can greatly increase your survivability, since this also lets you life steal with your magical skills. This is pretty helpful since Guinevere's ultimate skill deals burst damage to enemies. This can help her sustain even more while using her ultimate. You might want to consider Genius Wand. This item grants magic power and movement speed. Its unique attribute grants 15 magic penetration. Its unique passive reduces target's magic defense when you deal damage to them. The reduced magic defense scales with your level. This effect lasts for 2 seconds. This effect stacks up to 3 times. An alternative for the Genius Wand is a Divine Glaive. You can use this as an alternative just in case Montan decides to remove Genius Wand in the future. This item grants magic power. Its unique effect grants a certain percentage of magic penetration on your skills. In addition, its unique passive grants extra magic penetration when your HP is above a certain amount. Lastly, you can consider Blood Wings. This grants you magic power and health points. Its unique passive adds health points for every points of magic power added to your hero. The additional health points can help you survive in team fights. The item build for Guinevere really depends on the enemy's lineup. So make sure to read each item's description so you can adapt in-game. One of the best spells to be used on Guinevere is the Forbidden Jutsu, Execute. This grants you to deal true damage to the target. The damage is based on the target's lost health points and also with your level. The damage ignores shield absorption, meaning it pierces through enemy shields. This spell will have its cooldown reduced by a certain percentage when an enemy is slain with this spell. You can also consider Sprint. This can really help you run from danger or chase enemies. In my opinion, the best emblem set to be used is the Custom Mage Emblem set. Custom Mage Emblem could provide extra stats according to your needs as a magic damager. Set agility to its max level because it can give you additional movement speed. Higher movement speed means higher chance to chase enemies or escape death. Setting observation to max level will provide additional magic penetration on your skills. Higher magic penetration deals more magic damage to enemies. That means your skills will be more explosive. Get Magic Worship to deal more magic damage to the enemies. When dealing damage that is more than a certain percentage of target's max HP for 3 times in 5 seconds, the target will receive a burning effect. This burning effect burns the target for 3 times. This effect has a cooldown of 12 seconds. Skill to max level first. Prioritizing this makes the base damage of this skill higher. That means your enemy will feel your wrath more than ever. Prioritize second skill less since first skill is what you need for damage dealing. Always upgrade your ultimate skill when available for upgrading. Before we proceed further, let's focus on Guinevere's basic attacks. As you can see, her basic attack is on color violet. That only means that her basic attacks are magic damage. Basically, her basic attack is affected by physical and magic damage. Take a look on this scenario. On the left, this is her damage without any items. On the center, this is her damage with a magic damage item. On the right, this is her damage with a physical damage item. On the previous volume of this bootcamp, we recommended some physical items for Guinevere. But since Montan buffed her ultimate skill, we now recommend you to buy magic items instead. This will ensure that most enemies will be dead after her combo. Guinevere's passive is what you need to deal more damage and to survive in combat. As we mentioned earlier, you deal buff damage on your next basic attack when the bar is full. And also, it lets your attack dash towards the enemy. This skill is really helpful in chasing enemies. But wait, there's more. Upon using the buffed basic attack, Guinevere will gain a percentage of her health points. You can use it to outsmart enemies and still survive in team fights. I was almost killed by Uritel, but I did my best to survive using my passive and second skill. That's pretty amazing, right? Here is another scenario. On this scenario, focus on my health bar as I almost died from Gujin's daggers. Guinevere's first skill is what you need to slow down enemies. What you need with this skill is your accuracy on launching the energy orb. This skill is not like a homing missile, so you must land the energy orb to the target properly. You can also use it to slow down enemies so you can escape from death. As we mentioned earlier, this skill reduces the cooldown of your skill by a second every time you hit an enemy. So make sure to spam this skill even on minions and jungle monsters, so you will get the full potential of the cooldown reduction effects since this skill has also a short cooldown. Guinevere's second skill is what you need for crowd control. With the ability to knock up enemies you can use it as a combo with your ultimate skill. The combo will be explained later on. This skill has a really long range, so you can use it to either chase or surprise enemies or escape death. You can also use the knock-up to assist dying teammates to avoid them from dying. As we mentioned earlier, after using this skill initially, a new skill is available for your use, which is the spatial migration. This is pretty similar to Gujin's second activation of his ultimate skill. This lets Guinevere to dash towards the specified direction, leaving an illusion or image behind. This image can also be targeted by the enemies, so you can use it to fool enemies who are trigger happy with their skills. Or you can also use it to block skills of the enemy like Leslie's ultimate skill. Take a look on this scenario. I almost died with Leslie's ultimate skill, but because I have spatial migration, my twin image saved me.
An ally has been slain.
Guinevere's ultimate skill is what you need to also crowd control enemies in team fights. But do take note that if you use this skill without the enemies being knocked up, then it will just deal damage to surrounding enemies. This skill is best used when either your second skill knocked up an enemy, or when other heroes like Minotaur or Gatot has knocked the enemies up. This skill will continue to knock up enemies and let them feel the wrath of your magic power. Take a look on this scenario. The enemy did not even bother to go down to the ground. It feels like the enemy just wanted to fly to the heavens as soon as possible. Before we forget to mention, you can use the forbidden jutsu, execute after your successful ultimate. This will let you kill the enemies when they are lucky enough to survive your ultimate skill. In terms of her combo, we usually follow a simple but deadly combo. Let's tackle first her combo in terms of team fights. First, we spectate the surroundings. Since Guinevere is not as durable as other fighters, we have to make sure that when we land our second skill, we won't be focus fired by the enemies we didn't knock up. Then, when we see our usual targets like major marksmen or most of the enemies are in one spot, we now use our second skill. Then, when enemies are now knocked up, it's time to use her ultimate skill. This will give your teammates ample time to hit them freely while being airborne. Then, use her first skill to slow the target down and to also reduce the cooldown of your skills. Then if you see a dying enemy, then it's time to use the forbidden jutsu, execute. After that, you can deal basic attacks to enemies. Just use your spatial migration to either chase enemies further or escape the team fight. In terms of her combo on a one-on-one combat, we also follow the same combo. But this time, it will be much easier since there is no risk of being focus fired by other enemies. Take a look on this scenario as we followed the same combo.
Initiate retreat. Initiate retreat. An enemy has been slain. Killing spree.
We have our one and only lab rat, Rakuten, to be our dummy for this boot camp. Take a look on how helpless he would be when we use our deadly combo against him. At least we made him see the blue skies above. Additional tip, the forbidden jutsu. Execute is what you need to sweep out dying enemies. Take a look on this scenario. Since my skills are on cooldown, and the first skill is not a sure hit, then I opt to use execute. You get a kill just as easy as that. The tips I mentioned are just some of the ways you can use Guinevere. This video just guides you on how to use Guinevere the Kurumi way. We would like to thank the squad for being with us on this boot camp. Don't forget to check them out. We also thank our one and only lab rat, Rakuten, for being our lab rat for this boot camp. Once again, we made him inferior on this boot camp, so make sure to follow his account and tell him how much thankful we are to him, sacrificing his pride and honor just to show us some various scenarios. Thank you, lab Rakuten. So, once again, this is Kurumi and that's how you use Guinevere. Thanks for watching. Do not forget to like and share this video. Also subscribe to our channel for more contents by clicking on the subscribe button below. For our skin giveaway events, check out the community tab for the giveaway event post. We have our coffee account just in case you want to donate us some coffee funds. Check our coffee link on the description of this video, please. Only trust bootcamp videos from our official accounts. See you on the next Mobile Legends bootcamp. Cheers.